So as a little kid, I didn't know anything about being rich or having a lot of money or any of that stuff. Because where I come from, everybody was the same. We all just made ends meet. Every family. There was no family across the street that did better than the family on that side of the street. We all experienced the same financial poverty. And when I started going to school, elementary school, that's when I started to see that other people lived differently. They had nicer things. And I can remember coming home and wondering, why don't I have these things? See, as a little kid, we use our vision to really kind of learn about life, right? We are not so much going to listen to what someone tells us. We learn from seeing what others do and seeing what others have. So as a little kid, I'm thinking, why I only got one pair of shoes, but this kid has 5 pair of shoes. He wears a different pair of shoes every day. What separates him from me? Well, I tell you guys, some folks had historical reasons for why they did better than other folks. And I didn't know that as a kid. All I knew was these people over here or this person over here had something that I didn't have. And I said to myself, as a little kid, I said, you know something, I want to be in a position at some point that I don't have to look at someone else and wonder why I don't have what they have. And again, guys, this is not about materialism. Not about materialism. See, financial poverty stems from other areas of our life that we're in poverty, right? It stems from other areas of our life, whether it be relationships, whether it be mental, whether it be spiritual. See, if we're in poverty in other areas of our life, it's going to be really hard for us to get out of financial poverty, especially with the mental, especially if we have a history of the wrong behavior with money. And unfortunately, for many of us, we have that history of bad behavior with money because it comes up through the generations, right? That's one of the reasons why when we think about groups of people and we think about who controls the wealth in this country, a lot of that wealth is not controlled by Black Americans. A lot of that wealth is not controlled by Black Americans. And I know some people get triggered when I talk about Black Americans and their wealth. I know people get triggered by that. But you know something? I don't care if they get triggered. See, this financial poverty thing is really, really prevalent. It's very prevalent in Black Americans' lives. Now, I know financial poverty is also prevalent in other groups of people's lives as well. But when we look at a percentage, right? When we look at the 35 million Black Americans, we have a higher percentage of poverty in our life. Like I told you, I came from a neighborhood, guys, where everybody was financially poverty stricken. Everybody, every family. You show me in America where there's a community where everybody is poverty stricken. And I will tell you, a good majority of those communities still exist. But how do you get yourself? How did I get myself out of financial poverty? At 5 years old, we were in financial poverty. Now, that doesn't mean we lacked love. We had a lot of love, but we had very little money. And we were living below the poverty line. Just like some of you right now are living below the poverty line. But I'm here to tell you today, no matter what our historical background is, we can change that. We can change it now. But before we can change our financial poverty situation, we really have to change some other areas of our life that were poverty stricken. And a lot of us are poverty stricken when it comes to our behaviors with money. Now, a lot of that stems from historical reasons, right? We were never taught much about money or wealth because no one in our families ever had wealth. And a lot of us, nobody in our family ever had any money or very little of it. So if my grandparents lived in poverty, my parents lived in poverty, then there's a very, very, very strong likelihood that I could also live in poverty. But I vowed to myself I would change that. But it all started with this. See, at 26 years old, even though I went to college, graduated from college, had a little short stint in the NFL, playing 3 years in the NFL, I found myself at 26 years old in financial poverty. Now, you may ask yourself, well, how in the world can you go to college, get a degree, go play in the NFL for 3 years, make money, but at 26, you're still living below the poverty line? How in the world can that be? My behaviors with money, guys, was terrible. I knew nothing about how to keep money or multiply money. I knew how to make it because I come from a family of people who worked. They were not lazy people. They worked, and they worked their butts off. I'm talking about my grandparents, my parents, all my uncles, all my aunts. Everybody in my family worked. The problem was we lacked the basic understanding of how to use that money that we earned to make it more. We lacked that. So at 26 years old, although I was a college graduate, played 3 years in the NFL, I found myself at 26 years old with no job, no net worth. So technically, I was living below the poverty line, guys. If you want 3 free stocks, Webull is going to give you 3 free stocks when you open a new Webull brokerage account. Put any amount of money in that brokerage account. They're going to give you 3 free stocks for just trying out their brokerage app. There's a link down in the description box of this video. Go click on that Webull link. Open up your new Webull account today. Go get that free stock. Go get that free money. I'm going to also send you a Webull tutorial video to walk you through how to use the Webull app to make your first trade. All you got to do is send me an email. Let me know you've opened the Webull account, and I'm going to send you that free Webull tutorial video. Email address down in the description box of the video. Today's video is sponsored by my company, RF Financial Consulting. And in my company, I work with individuals just like you through financial mentoring and coaching sessions. And in those 1-hour sessions, we talk about strategies to help you get to your financial freedom, whether it be through real estate investing, stock market investing, creating additional streams of income, credit card arbitrage, or starting and growing a business. If that's something that you might be interested in, there's an email address in the description box of the video. Send me an email and let's discuss if I'm the right fit for you.